Hey guys, I have a 2005 CBR600RR, and I had an issue with the the engine where it makes a weird noise, like a rattling noise, and it comes around 4,000 to 5,000 RPM, and I couldn't figure out what, and I did a lot of YouTube search and forum search as well. So it turns out in the forums they say that the problem is because of the cam chain tensioner, which is this part. So this was the one that I took out of my bike. And so before I took this out, I went to a mechanic and I gave them the bike to check. And they listened to the sound of the engine, and they couldn't exactly say what it was at first. But then they said it's the cam chain tensioner. So yeah, this thing. So in most of the YouTube videos, they say that replace it with a manual tensioner. So this one is automatic, so which means like this arm here, it adjusts as the cam chain gets worn off or like old. So they say it's easy to put a manual cam chain tensioner than putting a OEM one. But the mechanic said if I change it to a manual one, there will be a problem where if you don't know what you're doing, and if you put too much tension on the cam chain, it could cause other issues. And if the chain breaks, it's gonna be very expensive fix. So he just suggested put the OEM one instead, and he said one other thing. So with this one, so these are the two holes that fits to the engine, and this thing here, this hole here, it actually takes in engine oil. So the engine oil runs through here, and it lubricates this device. So he said when you change the oil filter to a non-OEM one, it changed the oil pressure in the engine. So that could be another reason for this thing to wear off quickly. So he suggested to put OEM oil filters so that the air pressure, the oil pressure will be to the stock standards. So he said that he had a lot of issues with MT-07s that with customers who had different oil filters, and yeah, so it seems like a good suggestion. So in also just to say that in the YouTube videos they said to check if this the cam chain tensioner thing works. So well, I tested it before going to the mechanic. So how you test it is you need like a tiny flathead like this. So what you do is I don't know if you could, yeah, it's not clear, but in here in this hole there is like a tiny split where you can fit this thing. So what happens when the tensioner is working is this head you can see that it this thing moves up and down when I turn this thing, the flathead. So yeah, so what happens is when this this thing moves according to the chain, and it automatically gives the enough tension to the cam chain. So at first when I was checking, I couldn't say that it was not working, because in the channel they said like do it like twist it and let it go, and it should go back to the position it is. So I'll try to let you see. So it's like this. So I turn it and I let go. So what happens is it goes, yeah, it's not clear in the video, but what happens is when I twist it, I'm pretty much pulling this thing back, and when I let go, it moves back into the position. So according to the videos I watched, this thing is working. But what the mechanic said is when he was doing like around 4,000, 5,000 RPM, this actually started, this thing actually is moving, so it's not stable. So how he saw it was like he was doing the same, like putting this a flat head in there, and he has seen it like wobbling a lot. So at that RPM, and without that RPM range, it was fine. So yeah, so it's hard to tell just by doing like this check if this thing is good or bad. So to check it, you have to like put a flat head here and see if it makes a lot of vibrations in that RPM range where you get the engine noise. So yeah, so that's the video. So I thought I just should share it with everyone. So hope this helps. Thank you. Cheers.